Okay, so this is Unit 1 for Excel. This will be the only unit test that I do for you. Actually, I might do some screenshots in Unit 3, I believe. We'll see. I mean, I'll go through them. And if sometimes there's things in the unit test that we really haven't even done, and maybe you did it in the homework, but we didn't do it in the problem solve, or vice versa. And so there's times that I just don't think you might know exactly how to do it. So I'll either do a short video for certain steps in a unit, but this will be the only one that I'm doing the whole unit for you. Just clarify that. Okay, so step 2, we're going to go to our room service analysis worksheet and apply some formatting. So A2 to H2. Again, make sure you have your selection cursor. Apply our immersion center. And then A2, which I'm already there, I want to apply a heading 2 style. And go to styles, heading 2. And obviously on this unit, I'm going to go just a little faster because we've done most of these. Okay, so you should know how to do them. This is just kind of a verification that you're doing it correctly. Alright, so B7 through H23. I'm going to put in a comma style. And then in B22 through H22 or 23. Whoops. B22 to H22. Set this number to 0 decimals, so I'm going to decrease my decimals. And now A4 through A23 and B6, so control to H6. I'm going to do a heading 4 and then A7 through A23, oops, and oops, A7 through A23, B6 through H6. I want to set the fill color to accent 6, lighter 60. So here in my font, this is a fill color. So the paint bucket is fill. Okay, I'm pouring paint all over this. And then the A is our font color. So if I wanted to change the color of the actual numbers or letters. Okay, so this is a fill. We're going to go to green, accent 6, lighter 60. And then we're going to click on A6 and make this one lighter 40. Which is just a shade bit darker. Okay, and then hard return. So on the Grand Villa Suite, okay, we want to remove this space. So in between Villa and Suite, we need to put a hard return. So if I click here, I'm going to hit backspace. If I click here, I'm going to hit delete. So it doesn't matter how you do it, you just need to get rid of that space. Alright? And then to do a hard return is Alt Enter, and then Enter again, and now it's a hard return. Now if you wanted to see the rest of it, you can come over here and expand your formula bar, and it gives you everything right there. Okay? Let's see. Oh yeah, I did forget something. So we're going to go back. I forgot to right align. So A4 through A23 and then B6 through H6. We need to right align this. So right now it's left because that's the default, and we're going to align right. And then we're going to come back. So I'm back to column A, and we're going to auto fit this column. Okay, so if I right click in column width, notice I can't, there's no option to auto fit. I don't know what it might be. Alright, so I'm going to come over here to my cells grouping and click the format, and I'm going to auto fit column width. And then it just moved it ever so slightly. I think. Maybe it didn't. And then we're going to set the column width for B through H. We're going to set that to 12. So I'm going to select all of those. And while I'm up here, if I right click column width and just type in 12, and it auto fits those. Alright, now we're going to increase row 1. So click on 1. We're going to increase this height. So I'm going to right click, row height is 55. And then we're going to select this picture. Now notice I've got a picture toolbar that pops up. Okay, so I'm going to use that, and we're going to snap to grid. So we're going to picture a line. So I'm going to come over here to my arrange group, align, snap to grid. And that just puts it in the grid spots. And then we're going to position this graphic so the lower right corner, so this corner, needs to be in G2. So the only way to really do that is do this. So use the middle sizer. So this is the corner sizer, middle sizer, middle sizer. And then we want our upper left corner, so this corner, to be in C2. So I'm going to move this over. And now I need to move this down because it's in C1 right now, so I need to put it in C2. So this is in G2. Now I need to bring this one down to C2. And notice I'm overlaying a title, and just leave it like that because it actually grades it correctly. Okay, so now we're going to use this B7 through G13 to actually calculate these things right here. So I'm going to do a sum, get the total. So I'm just going to do auto sum. Okay, now I'm going to select that area again, click the down arrow and click average, and then select that area again, click down arrow, and this time we're going with minimum. So we're going to select minimum, and then we're going to select this area again, and we're going to select maximum. Okay, now we're going to add a new row, add a total row in 14, add an average in 15. Okay, we did all that. Okay, so we're on step 7, and we just finished all that. Now we're going to calculate the total for each row in the column H over here. So again, I'm going to use my selection cursor and select H7 to H14. And then I'm just going to, and H19, so control 19 and 20, and then control 22. Right, so this is all should be selected, and you click auto sum, and then it drops it all in there for you. And ensure the number of decimals in H22 is set to 0, and it is. Okay, now we're going to calculate the average individual sale per day in B23. And then it tells you to divide the total sales for the week. So I'm going to say equal, and then total sales for the week, divided by the number of rooms, divided by 7. Okay, and then we're just going to copy this across to H23. Alright, now, let's see, apply the data bar conditional formatting to H7 to H13, so make sure you don't grab 14, okay, it's just H13, conditional formatting, data bars. There's a gradient fill and a solid fill. We want the gradient orange. And then we're going to apply a total cell style range to B14. Let's see, B14 to H14. Total. So cell styles, total. And then we're going to apply the counting number format. And all the way to H17, sorry. So we'll just grab these now, H17, accounting, and then H7 to H13, and accounting. So I did them separate, but it's not going to know, I promise. So now we're going to turn off the worksheet grid lines. So I can do that in view or page layout, remember that. So I'm going to turn off my grids and apply the headlines theme. So if on the assignment, where is it? So you download the theme, but you don't need to open it. Okay, if you open it, I don't think you'll be able to import it. So just make sure you downloaded it just in case you don't have it. And then I'll show you. So if you look around up here, you'll realize that I gotta find, gotta find where themes is, and it's actually in your page layout. Alright, so we're gonna go to themes, and we want the headlines. So if I come in here and look around, and this is the one place it's not sorted. I don't know why Microsoft did that, but they did. So here's the headlines. So you can use this one, or you can go browse for themes. If you don't have it, go browse for themes, look in your downloads, and then there's the headlines. And if you open it, it looks like a PowerPoint, but it's just a theme. Okay, so I'm going to use that. And you notice it changes the color, it changes your fonts and your font style. Alright, so step 13. In our documentation worksheet, we're going to type in our date. And then here, you're actually going to put in your name, Y-O-U-R-N-A-M-E, not your name, okay? And then we're going to say completed by the room service analysis worksheet. And we're done. And then now we need to insert the file name to the left section of both worksheets. Okay, so again, I'm going to select both of them. So I'm going to hit Control and select it. So both of them are selected. And this time I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. So before I showed you through the insert headers and footers, this time I'm going to show you the page layout. So I'm going to go into my page setup and go into headers and footers. And then I'm going to set custom footer. And notice I have a left, center, and right sections. And here, these are the same elements that you see in the insert. It's just they're not named. So if I hover over it, it tells me it's its file path. This tells me it's its file name, sheet name, time, date. Okay, so I'm going to do file name. And then click OK. And then you notice it drops the file name in the footer. Click OK again. And then in both worksheets, we want to change the orientation to landscape. So since I'm already in my page layout, I'm going to click on landscape and set scaling to fit all columns on one page. So again, scale to fit, width, one page. And before you save it, unclick or right click and ungroup, and then save the file and you can submit it. So you, to submit a file, choose, and it's in my downloads, and it was room service. If you sort by date, whatever you did last should be at the top. Okay, open, and now it's showing that that's what it picked. I'm going to upload it. It tells me it was successful, and then I can submit for grading.